So, one of the more off putting behaviors that a lot of people can exhibit, in my estimation, is one of high horsedness. And I can recall a time when um, people that I was around um, were doing a lot of church going. And there's nothing wrong with that. But anytime there was a disagreement, they would pull out um, their their holiness and say, "I'm going to pray for you." And it's kind of a disingenuous thing to say. It was kind of a way to take an argument and say, "Well, I'm better because I go to church, and so for that, I'm going to pray for you because you need the help." And it's like, oh man. So what I'm seeing now, ooh, can you see this double reflection? That's pretty cool. And neighbors, Christmas lights. But what I'm seeing now is the newer version of it, where people say get therapy, and that's one of those things where once again you're throwing something at somebody because you disagree and because you feel like you're in a better place than them. Now you're saying, well, you need therapy. Well, if you're projecting that sort of judgment onto other people, your therapy's not working. Just like if you are supposed to be a devout whatever to your religion and belief system, throwing, um, again, disingenuous prayer at somebody just to kind of sharpen a point, that's not it. And this is just my opinion. Somebody's going to come along and say, well, they're trying to help them. No, they're not. We know tones. We know when things are put in. If you're genuinely saying, hey, I recognize what you've been through and therapy helped me, you might want to check it out. That's different. But when people just say, get therapy, we know what that tone means, especially on social media. Am I projecting a little bit? Do I have 100% proof that every person saying that is being kind of a jerk? No. But when I read through the threads, when I see low levels of anger and vitriol, and they just, it's like the person saying get therapy is in worse shape than the person who they are trying to admonish for not being in therapy. And that's a problem, guys. Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. Seek your own, your own help. And when it works for you, then go out into the world and say, you know what, this is what's been helping me. Give reasons why therapy would work. Give solutions. Give a positive energy. Because what happens is when you are an ambassador for something like that, and that's the message that you send to somebody who's not of that walk yet, or of that understanding that you're trying to project, you often put them off more. It's the same thing again, going back to the religion. When people are off put by aggressive religious behavior, that person is the ambassador, and that's who you run with. We see it when we have seen people make excuses for their racial shortcomings as far as being connected to other groups. Well, when I was in high school, somebody of a different ethnicity or gender did this or that, and so that's what they're holding on to. So you have to be a better ambassador. And I understand that we can't change people's past, but we can certainly change their future, especially when we are supposed to have been in a place, or are in a place ourselves, of betterment through your belief system of religion or whatever it is, and through therapy. So I'm going to leave it at that. Try not to be too judgmental about it, but I just watched the guy get really kind of I don't know. It was unfortunate to read through all this stuff because nobody was willing to hear what he was going through, and then they demanded apologies and all this and that. And I take my hat off to the guy for saying, "This is what I've been through, and this is where I'm at." But um, other than that, what's your ace up the sleeve? Advice, comment, experience? Am I way out of pocket for saying people shouldn't be advising therapy uh, or saying that they're going to pray. But again, please keep in mind that this is not through a constructive conversation. This is when mudslinging is going on. This is when people are not doing it to be genuine. But again, Ace Up to Sleep would help. And I do hope this finds everybody in their place, pursuit, or this is the introduction to be of total health, mind, body, and soul. So that can speak to the religion, that can speak to the therapy, and it can also speak to just getting your body out and doing something more productive. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace, love, unity, solidarity.